Good morning, Deb. How you doing? Are you awake yet? Because I'm not sure I am. Let me get ready here. We're going to be working on Spin-e-Fex 9 this morning, and I know I'm on a little early, but it gives us a few minutes to chat before we get started. Gives me time to give Tippy her treat so she settles down and doesn't bark. Hey, good morning, Pam. Pam's here for Maine. Welcome. And Joyce, good morning. How are you all doing this morning? I know it's early. We're going to go ahead and we're going to wait a little bit. But I was just getting ready. So I saw Deb on here and thought I'd hop on and say good morning to everybody. Can you all hear me okay? Go lay down. Joyce is bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. Yay, Joyce. Awesome. Okay, good. Thank you. Thank you for letting me know that. Sound is good. Debbie, are you awake yet? Hi, Joey. Oh, yeah, storms last night. Oh, yeah, they were horrible up here too. So Joey got storms in Southern California, and we got storms in Northern Michigan. So hopefully we have the whole country covered. We need the rain, though. Desperately need the rain. Hi, Kathy. Good morning. And Deanna's here. Good morning. Okay, up at it here at the beautiful Prineville, Oregon. I always wanted to get out to the West Coast. My dad loved the state of Washington. Deb is not awake. Why does that not surprise me? Hi, Donna. Donna has appointments, so need to jump off early. That's okay. That's okay. Teresa's here from France. Good morning. And we are doing good here this morning. Jan, sunny, no rain. Yay. Good morning. Oh, see, that's not cold enough. So let's go ahead. Oh, we got a minute yet before we want to get started. And Tippy has a desire for more treats, if you can hear that. Tippy, stop. Enough. Enough. Go lay down. Go lay down now. Okay, see if I can get her settled down a little bit. She doesn't have the comprehension ability to determine that I'm not talking to somebody who's sitting here. She just thinks people are going to be here if I'm talking. Hi, Ronnie, Northeastern Arizona. How are you doing this morning? Today we're going to do Spinifex 9. I'm going to be honest with you, I've not worked with those too often. As a matter of fact, I had to put staple tape on several of them because I've never used them. But we're going to try some fun things with them this morning and see what we can come up with. And one of the first things that I want to do is I want to try this with the pin. I always like using the pin, but there's kind of a special way that I do it because when I go from one to the other, rotations, I want something to follow. Using the pin and the template alone, I'm not overly successful with that. And, it's okay to say that I'm not overly successful with it. What I've done is I've come up with a workaround, which is the important part of it, so that we can be successful. So if you have the same problem I have, this morning we're going to address that. And I think I've got everything tightened up. No, not quite. There we go. Now I've got everything tightened up, so we should be good for the camera. Oh, excuse me. We got another red flag warning on air quality today. So, you know, these are great days. You can't go outside, so you might as well stay inside and quilt, right? Yeah, I have asthma. I'll tell you, going outside, it's instantly in need of a rescue inhaler. It's horrible. I feel so sorry for people up in Canada who are dealing with it firsthand because we are not getting the worst of it. Although our if I sit here and look today, I can see the trees on the next block, but they're hazy. So if that gives you any idea of how bad it is up here, it's horrible. Okay, Spinifex 9 comes, of course, in 11 and a half, 9 and a half, 7 and a half, 5 and a half, and 3 and a half. I did not check my minis this morning. I know that not all Spinifex come in minis, so I can't guarantee that these do or don't. Okay? But what's fun about these is that we can do them two ways. If you'll see, if we put this portion on our center, those little spiky portions are going to stick out, which are really kind of cute. I like them on the 8 rotations a lot. I really do. I think they look adorable. There we go. Get them all in there. And if we put this portion on the inside and have this on the outside, what's going to happen is it's going to give us this. What I really, really like about this template is either way that we do it, we are going to have some really cute secondary designs. And if you're templing, that just, I mean, this one I think is awesome. I really do. I love the secondary design on this. We're going to go ahead and do this. What we're going to do is we're going to start with 8 and then we're going to go to 16 rotations. And the 16 rotations hopefully is going to look like this. See how I do that? Hopefully. You can do borders with this one. The border is adorable. It's a little labor intensive, but so well worth it. So let's go ahead and take a look at putting it on the pin. Okay. Oh, Regina, my friend. Okay. Let's see where we're at here. Oh, I missed a few people. Di is here. Good morning. You guys are just having thunderstorms like crazy out there, huh? Kathy, good morning to you. And Linda is here from the United Arab Emirates. My friend Linda, it's so good to see you. Regina, my friend, cannot comment on Amazon Fire, so I have to switch to my laptop. You know, it's really kind of weird because it's giving me errors on both of the Facebook pages that we normally do this on, and I don't I don't know why. I'm not techie, so I really don't know why. Okay, Donna said it looks like these templates have gates. At least that's how they're showing them on the website. And some of them still do have gates, Donna. So yeah, very possible. And Donna confirmed it is in the mini collection. Thank you, Donna, for looking that up. I really appreciate that. Now, Linda J said she believes that the new templates have the needle slot. And it could be that the templates have the needle slot, they're just not updated the pictures yet on the website. So it's, anybody yeah, order them and tell me what what you have, and here is the link for that. Okay, use deal day 20 today to get a 20 or a 20% discount. And that's pretty good because they don't normally put templates on sale like that. So that's a good buy. Donna says that the minis are in collection 3. So if you have the miniature spin effects collection 3, you will have this template in it. And good morning, Linda, my Michigander buddy. And Debbie's here from a sunny Iowa. Um, Debbie said she just bought them a few weeks ago, and they do have needle slots. Thanks, Deb, for clarifying for us. Okay. Di said she had to come through 906 Quilting. YouTube says live in 20 days. Oh boy. Who knows what I did there, eh? Facebook had last evening's shows. Okay. Yeah, not really sure. I'm like I said, not a techie. I'm okay with that. I am perfectly okay with that. Okay, I'm going to use a small one on here, and it's going to be my 3.5 inch. Now, how do I pick the 3.5 inch? Because it fits. Okay, this is just for demonstration. So it really doesn't have to be in any particular space. Let me get this. Oh my gosh, this needs to be changed. And the way you know when it needs to be changed, it's all squished down. And it is squished down. I do use this template a lot. And one of the things that I do, I use the arcade tape on it. And the bad part about that is you can't see through it. Now, I had gotten this tape, which is vinyl. It's a vinyl product. And I really love the fact that you can see through it. The only thing I don't like about it is that when you first put it on, it sticks like iron, but it wears out quickly. So, six of one, half dozen of the other, right? What I do, because I can't see through that, what you'll see is I go ahead and just extend that line on the tape, but be careful because with the gate, now with a needle channel, you don't have to go through all this, okay, guys? They're all set, and you don't. Well, I'm so jealous of you all who have those needle channels, but with the gates, if you're like me and you got the old-fashioned set, it really does help to put that on. And sometimes this does move just a hair. 99% of the time, it won't matter. Okay. So let's go ahead and set our foot height here. There we go. How many of you guys use your spin effects with the pin? I think my unscientific way of concluding something is probably not a lot of us. Um, because they're so convenient to use just as a spin effects. Okay, so I'm going to take my first stitch in place here and we're going to get moving. There we go. And I have 16 reference lines here. I don't know if I'm going to use all 16. We're going to do 8 first and see how that looks. Okay. Hi, Susie. Good morning. Arlington, Virginia. Don't apologize. It's okay. You can pop on and pop off anytime you want to. Okay, I am gonna go ahead and turn this light on. I'm sorry, guys. I'm kind of shaking you up a little this morning. There we go. I can see much better. Now, with the circle, I'm taking smaller stitches so that it turns out nice and smooth. We're going to stop at the top, right here where we started. I want to be on on one of my reference lines. Okay, we're going to set that aside. Now the question is, do you want me to do this right side out or right side in? Oh, guys, it has to be right side in. What am I thinking? Never mind. You don't get a choice. I always like to offer choices, but that's not going to work this time. Okay, gonna go ahead and put my needle or my pin through. Come in the back, and there's my little hole already made for me. And it's not perfect. It's okay. Neither am I. Oh, right. Here we go. Open up my gate. Close it again. And set it on the pin. Okay? Let me go ahead and get this out of the way. I want it this way so you can see what I'm doing. A lot of times, um, a lot of times I will turn things in a manner that I normally wouldn't turn them. And when I do that, it's so that you can see. Okay. Okay, Kathy, I'm gonna get would you give me a call, please? You can find my number under the educators tabs, and let's talk to Stacy about. Um, let me see. Tried last night to order the rulers from the previous video. Okay, yeah, I know I sent her a message on that. I haven't seen a reply. Okay. So Kathy, yeah, give me a holler, thank you. Okay. Di said with her old high shake machine, she had to use low shake tablets if they had a needle slot. That's really interesting, Di. I wonder why that is. I kind of like to hear more about that. Okay. Yeah, Donna's got a good question. Did the foot get caught on the higher templates? Um, I suppose that's possible. Okay, here we go. One stitch in place. We're going to take it nice and easy around this clip. Here we've got a little bit of a curve. And here is the clip. And back to our 2-inch simple circle. All right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift my template up. There we go. And I'm going to I'm just going to stitch to the next line. If you're unsure about traveling, not everyone is comfortable with traveling, you could always take this template off and put the simple circle back on it. Okay, travel over to there. Going to come in here and there's the side I need and lift that up and put it back on the pin. Okay, If this was a larger template, I would not need to do that. I could just turn my template. I'm going to show you that next. All right. How to just turn the template to get from one reference line to the next. And a lot of curviness in this one. Couple of ledges, I call them ledges, that we're going to drop off. Okay, there we go. Now, what you can do is let the template move, let the foot move the template, and just keep on that simple circle line that we have. And it's a lot less messing around. But some people are uncomfortable doing it that way. And I just would like to show you guys that there is always more than one way to do things. The key to doing it well is finding the process that works the best for you and is the most comfortable for you. And we're back at the bottom here, and we're going to just follow that previous circle that we had in there, and we're going to let, again, we're going to let the foot move the template. And there we go. Oh, this is turning out nicely. I do like this. Now, when we come out like this, what we don't have is a clear-cut secondary design. So what's going to happen is when we put our 16 rotations in, is when we're going to see a little bit of a secondary design. Remember, this is a small template, so we're going to see less of it than we would see with the larger size. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and switch to a larger size for the second half of this, okay? We've got 4 rotations in there, so let's go ahead and put a larger one in to do the other 4. There we go. Easy to get out. And yep, that's going to fit without any problem. So I'm going, this is our 3.5. I'm going to go ahead and switch to our 5.5. Okay, Donna has a comment. She says, sometimes I have to put my finger over the top of the needle slot as I'm coming in because one side tends to sit up a little higher as I stitch across it. Yeah, Donna, all of our templates can have that issue. I mean, not all of them, but there's certain templates that do that you have to watch out on. And the vine template from DMQ is one of the ones that comes to mind. Okay, I just used that this past week, and I noticed that a part of it needed to be just held on a little better, and that's okay. That's okay. We can handle that, right, guys? Okay, so here we go. Gonna put that in, settle it down. Come on, you, settle down. There we go. I knew it would work. Just a matter of perseverance here. There we go. So this is going to be a 5.5. It's going to be a little bigger. I kind of like being able to do these with more than one size on the circle because it's fun, one, and because it gives a good comparison of sides. And what's always nice to when you do a practice square like this, you can go ahead and put it into the file folder or envelope, whatever you use to organize your rulers, and then you will have a reference for the future. Whenever you do practice squares, I like to cut out just the ones that I like. I mean, we all are going to make designs that we're not crazy about. Let's face it, we have our favorites, even though we're not supposed to. Um, hang on to them. The same with your drawings. Hang on to your drawings because you never know down the road when you're going to want a particular design. And if you're like me, you're going to say, well, I know I did that before, but how did I do it? Well, when you have the practice, you can easily figure it out. And what I do is I write the order and the sizes of the templates that I used, which will help immensely to replicate that order or that design when you're ready to. There we go. Okay. Some reason that date keeps popping up on me here. And come in one more time. And we only have one more rotation here, and we'll have our 8 rotations done. And it just seems to me that this way on the pin doesn't get demonstrated very often. I don't often see it. I don't often do it. And so I'm thinking we need to do it more often so that you all can see what it is it's going to look like. Okay, here we go. This is going to be the last one of our 8 rotations. Now, remember one thing too. When you look at the size, if you put it on that 2-inch simple circle, it no longer is, for example, on this one, 5.5 inches from tip to tip because we've added this 2-inch circle. So what we have to do is add 2 inches to the entire design. So what I mean by that is that this 5.5-inch design from here to here is going to now include an extra 2 inches in the center. So you really do want to be aware of that, okay? And this is how the 2 sizes look. This is a really clean design, I think, and it's good for a modern quilt. Um, that's how I determine my sizes are clean or not. Will it work well on a modern quilt? So let's go ahead and we'll just do a few of these. I want to show you what the 16 rotation is going to look like on the pin. Okay. As I said, we don't normally do these, so it's just a good idea once in a while to remind ourselves that we have this type of design available to us. And what you can do in the middle is take your miniature 1.5-inch design and go ahead and fill in that 2-inch simple circle with that. I think that would be adorable. Okay. And again, we're going to go ahead and travel. Get my needle down there on that 2-inch simple circle. Let the machine move the templates. I really believe that makes it so much easier. There we go. Now with this one, what you can do is do some cross hatching in the center if you like. Curve cross hatching especially is my favorite. You also could do a really, 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 really small feather circle in there. Would I try it? Probably not. For me, that's a little too small, but it could be done. It definitely could. And we've got the templates for it. And there we go. Going to go ahead and I'll put one more in after this, and then we'll switch over to our larger template. I think I need some caffeine. I haven't gotten enough yet this morning. And one more time. Make sure I come in. You really want to make sure that you're lined up with this simple circle. And you see just how easy this is. Okay, and this will be the last small one that we're going to put in. I think that this template would be great for a confident beginner. Although I really am a proponent of the templates being able to be used by anyone, because once you have the process down, it's the same no matter what template we use. The only thing that changes is the design itself. Okay, awesome. Isn't this cute? I absolutely love this. Hi, Lisa. Oh, Joey just got the circles from last night and the discount was good. Okay, good. All righty. So now I'm just going to free motion to my next open reference line here. Just going to free motion over there. Take your time, not a race. Okay, we're going to slip this guy on here. Now, as these get larger, they get, I think, more difficult to slip the template onto the pin. The smaller ones just seem to work better. Don't know why, but they do. There we go. Awesome. Didn't have to fight with that one too much, did we? All right. Now here is where we're going to see even more secondary designs. And remember, you can go, this is just 16. If you want, you could go a whole 32 reference lines. Would it take a while to stitch? Yeah, it would, but that's okay. That floor that needs to be scrubbed, it'll still be there tomorrow waiting for you. Chances are, if your house is like mine, somebody will drag in dirt anyway. So my philosophy is why clean it today? It's gonna be dirty again by the end of the day. Okay, it's not that bad, guys, really. Some days I feel like it. And we own our house is a big house. It really is. And the older I get, the less I find not just enjoyment in taking care of all these rooms, but the physical stamina to do it. I keep threatening my husband I'm gonna get a housekeeper. There we go. And we got 2 more to do on this one. And then what I will do is I will grab my mini Spin-e-Fex. Now that one I did not give to Stacy for the coupon code. I apologize. I didn't think I would be using it today. And right there. This is going to be our last one. Don't forget your hesitation stitch here. And you don't want to linger. You just want to go one and move on. You want to keep it nice and short. And I am going to go ahead and close up this circle. There we go. And I do that for consistency. All right. And take that tag out. Gonna give you all a good look at it. Tell me, is this awesome or not? All of the secondary designs that we can do, to me, that's part of what is so amazing about these templates is the fact that we can do secondary designs and we can work with them in so many ways. We can template them, we can color them in, we can use them as appliques. You're going to see a project coming out for me very soon where I basically appliqued the whole project. And it's not difficult. It really isn't. And here's our number 9 Spin-e-Fex, and this is our mini, and I'm going to use the 1.5. If you take a look, obviously the 2.5 is going to be too big. So let's go ahead and take the 1.5 and let's just do 4 rotations on it because that's really all I have drawn out in here, but it's gonna look adorable. Okay, so here we go. With these minis especially, you want to keep, whoops, I fell off of it. I'm sorry, guys. You're going to definitely want to be sure with the minis that your stitches are small. Keep them proportional. If you're using a small template, use smaller stitches. Take your time. Don't forget to hesitate. You don't have to manhandle your templates. Be gentle with them. You don't have to mash them down on the top of your sewing machine bed. If you do, it's going to be that much more difficult to move them and get them going in the direction you want them to be. The other thing that will happen is you're not going to be moving your fabric either. Everything is going to become static in that spot. And that's not what you want. You want to keep your hands loose. You don't want to death grip on them. And they're going to work beautiful for you. Okay. There we go. What you guys think? I'm liking it. I am liking it so much that, there we go. I can, in my head, know of a project right now that I'm working on that I'm going to use that in. Obviously, I'm not going to use the two sizes. However, you certainly could. For example, what you may want to do is from this point to this point, use the smaller size and then use the larger one all the way around it to fill up your space better. Okay, Jan, and yeah, Regina said a sunflower. You're absolutely right, Regina. Do the templates you've demonstrated this week be ordered on one order and qualify for the deal day 20 offer? Okay, let's clear that up because that's a really good question, Jan. It does not have to be on one order. Okay, the coupon code for this week's templates are good from Monday to Monday. So you have this entire week to still order those templates and a weekend. And that coupon code should, the deal day 20 should work. If it doesn't, please let me know. I'll be more than happy to shoot off a text to Stacy and get that squared away. Okay. For some reason, sometimes they expire, and she's not sure why that happens. I, of course, am totally unsure of it because I don't have their software. I don't run it, so I don't know. So anyway, now what I'm going to do. Oh, Susie, thank you. It does look impressive and complicated, but it is not. It really isn't. But let's go ahead and dress this up a little bit. Okay. And I'm going to address the larger pieces. We can do the same exact things with the smaller pieces too. So hang on here. I want to get some more templates out. And these are going to be the bigger sizes. Oh goodness, I need to drink. So this is the 7.5. Where did my 5.5 go, guys? Oh, who stole my 5.5? There it is. Okay, so these are done with the 5.5. So now if we wanted to, what we could do if we had our pin in, I'm gonna go ahead and put it back in, okay? Because that's just the way I roll. I'm never quite sure what's gonna come out of my brain next. I have these presentations all worked out before we do them. And I've got to be honest with you, about 98% of the time, I squirrel off of what we're supposed to be doing and end up doing something different. Can you believe it? I just I start thinking while I'm doing them and I'm going, yeah, it could be. So here's thought process. I have made, and I'm gonna literally stitch over this one that I've already done, okay? So what I'm going to do is I am going to come back up about there. Oh, it's got to be lower. And one lower. Okay. This is going to be a little bit on the messy side because it should be done as we are doing this, but you can come in and do it later. So what I'm going to do is I am just, and this is with the same size template that I originally did this with. Now I'm going to move it over and I'm going to travel. Oh, so there we go. And I'm going to twist my template again. I need to come down another stitch. Now the question is, how do I know I need to come down another stitch? And the reason is, normally I would have 32 reference lines drawn up, but because I don't, I'm imagining this vertical line lining up with this crossover right here. Okay, so if I were to take, if I were to take a ruler and go on there, that is how I would line it up. So now we're going to come up here and back down here, and you can see this is how I know if I'm at the right spot or not. What you can see is this vertical line needs to line up here and it's off. So I'm going to come down another stitch or two. There we go. That's perfect. So now I'm going to come up and I'm going to come back down on the other side. So what this is going to do, I'm not going to do any more of those. That's just one of the things that I wanted to show you. It's one way to embellish. And what's really cool about this is it's also a real cool way to do template. You've got these nice little areas. Now what I want to do is I want to take a 7.5 inch. So we're going to go a size bigger on this little guy, okay? And I'm going to go ahead and put him on the pin. This is really big as opposed to what we had. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to line this guy up here. I better do it with this one, otherwise too many chefs spoil the pot, so to speak. Okay, and I'm going to start here. This is going to be different in that I'm not going to join those two petals. I'm going to make a large, and I do mean large, echo on this, okay? So there we are. And I'm going to meet up right here with the next petal, okay? Now comes, if you have a hard part, this would be it. So I'm just going to move this template over. Okay. Now I'm going to stitch back down and up the previous petal. Stopping at approximately the same distance from the crossover, and that turned out perfect. Okay, That was sheer luck, guys. I don't normally get them that perfect. But now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna look and see if there's any landmarks here that will get me easier to the spot I need to stop before I rotate my template. And if we look, our foot is just a hair beyond this intersection. So that's a great landmark for us. Okay, gonna go ahead and move out. What I want you to see, what I think is important here with what I'm doing is what you can do with one set of templates and how you can make things look so different and complicated, even though they're not. Okay, there we go. Perfect. And we're going to do another one. And again, our templates lend themselves automatically to doing secondary designs, which sometimes we don't know until we do it what it's going to be. Okay. I've never done this with this particular template, so I'm really unsure until I get going on it what it's going to be. That's why I draw them out first. And this will be the last one. And what I'm looking at here is, did I go far enough or did I go too far? Because now my vertical line, my vertical center on my template is over to the right. So that tells me I went about a stitch too far. There we go. I'm gonna just stitch back and go ahead and do my rotation. And I'll stop right there. Okay. Now we can build with small templates, and these are not overly large templates. We can build a huge block with just that. So if we take a look at that, isn't that cool? I am so excited that we can do these things. Oh, morning, Jean. Jean made it in from Mount Vernon. So good to see you, Jean. So the artist part of me, okay, wants me to take my Inktense pencil and shade this in by coming down here like this with a more intense color and just working it out, just literally working it out until I end up just right. And I would come then over here and follow up, doing the same thing. We're going to make that part intense, and then we're going to just get lighter and lighter, just like that. And what this is going to do, it's going to make it look three-dimensional, guys. Not with the white, but if I had a dark color, it would definitely make this look three-dimensional. Isn't that pretty? It's so easy. It is really easy, and I know you guys can do this because you have the expertise. You're good. Okay. I don't want to forget to do this template with the pointy side sticking out. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and let's cut that bobbin thread off. I have a habit of not doing that. Then can't figure out why I can't get it out of the machine when I'm trying to. Okay. let's go ahead and do it here. And I wasn't sure how big this was going to get, so and we can keep going with this. Here we go, like that. Get that out of the way. I think I'm going to elongate this one just a little. Make it as long as I can. There we go. And here is my 16 point. I absolutely love this ruler. I don't have to try and match things up or turn it or any of that stuff. Okay. The only thing I don't like about this pencil is sometimes because the lead is so thin, it wobbles inside of that channel there. In which case, what does not do that is the chalk liner. The chalk liner just fits in there. There's no wiggle room, and that's always a good thing. So there's my 16 hairs. Okay, let's see where we're at here. Okay, Linda says, how do you know how to do that? It makes sense to me when you do it, but I do not know where to make it darker and lighter. I love what you did even with the white pencil. Thank you, Linda. Um, when you look at nature, and that's what I would say. Look at nature. Look how shadows fall. Look how, when you're coming out from behind something, especially like here, what you want is contrast. That's all this is contrast. I have chosen, where did I put my pencil? There it is. Okay, so because I want this to look three-dimensional, I've got contrast in here. Dark contrast is always going to make things recede. Light contrast is going to make them come towards you. So if I put the same color here, what you what you see is really not much of anything, is it? It's kind of blah. All you see, well, you can't even see the line of stitching, it disappears. But because this is such a different hue than this is, it separates them beautifully. And it lends itself to making this go backwards and this come forwards in a more three-dimensional form, but it's not. It's just an illusion that we get from drawing. That's literally all it is, Linda. Oh, that's kind of more of an explanation than you needed. But did you get that? I mean, does that make sense? Did I explain it well enough? I should say, should ask. I love drawing. I have been drawing with colored pencils for years. And my favorite to do is photorealism. I've been in many shows, some international, and it's just something that I like to do. But I like doing ruler quilting better. I'd rather spend my time doing this. I gotta be honest with you guys. And in the evening, when I'm sitting downstairs with my husband, I can't have my hands still. So I work on hand projects. Oh, okay, Linda, okay, good, good. I'm glad that it made sense. And I don't have a problem explaining things ever. As you all know, because we never can stick to an hour on these lives. But you know what? We have more to do than an hour can hold, and that's okay with me. I love spending time with my friends here. I wish we could beam you all to my home. Somebody said the other day, "Beam me up, Scotty." That's why I said, "Oh, wouldn't that be nice if we really could do that?" Oh, I could hear it now. Everybody greeting everybody in person. Oh, it'd be so beautiful. It really would. Although the decibel levels would go up so high, my neighbors might they complain. Hi, Carlos. Glad you made it. Good morning. All right. So this is I'm going to show you first is going to be just 8 points. Oh my goodness, I just had a thought. Okay, guys, we're going to try something here. I'm going to squirrel. Okay, go ahead and put that down. Come out this way. Oh, I don't like it when I do this. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is and what I mean when I say I don't like it when I do this, squirreling, it's just in my nature. And sometimes when I squirrel, it's a good thing. Other times it's like, what were you thinking? Maybe you should see a counselor. Oh yeah, that's what I could that's what this brain goes through. Okay, that's a 5.5 inch. So for this one, I'm gonna use a 3.5 inch. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and set that in here. I'm only going to do one of these. So I'm gonna line that up. And I'm gonna do a complete rotation. Now, what you could do is do the small one on the inside and a larger one on the outside because that would fill the space up better. Okay, so I'm going to stop there. I'm going to switch this out. Because I'm working with the 5.5, I'm going to try the 7.5 as well. Okay, just to give us a little comparison. There we go. Who thinks I'm crazy for trying this? Okay, we're gonna go back there. Move my hands up. Back up to the tip of the original one. Something's caught in here. There we go. And take that one out. I'm gonna go ahead, put the 5.5 back on. Okay, I just heard from Stacy. She said that they did go ahead and change that coupon code on Monday, and they were wondering if it was the right product. So we'll go ahead and give her a holler when we're done. And we're gonna go. And one more rotation. And go. Whoops. I got carried away there for a second, didn't I? This is giving me problems. There we go. So here's 4 rotations. Here is my thought process, is to do one of these attached to each of the 8 rotations around it. This is a 5.5, this is a 7.5. What I would do is, I don't like the 3.5 on there at all. I think it's way too small. I think the 7.5 works wonderful. I think I would probably keep it at a 5.5, though. I would keep them all the same, the same size. So I want to put a couple more in here, and then let's talk about joining these, because this template lends itself beautifully to using some of our uh, starter sampler set templates to join them, and they just look awesome. So here we go. All right. Go. Adjust that foot just a little bit because it was giving me a problem before, kind of like a child does. All right. Oh, this is giving us a really fun secondary design. Check this out. By turning the template around, this is our secondary design. If we leave it in this manner, and that's what we're going to do over here. Let's see the secondary design we did over here, okay? Again, another fun one. Now, you certainly could switch this around by, say, doing your top and bottom in a different orientation than the sides. Okay, I'm going to do one more of these. I just wanted to really see how that was going to look. Oh, some days I'm just too curious. Yeah. Up we're gonna go and wait around. Now, the reason I like these sharp points on the outside is because joining them with another template is going to be so easy, and to do it without traveling. What in the world? Okay. Well, I'm just going to take that out. There we go. Pretty. Isn't that pretty? Gosh, I would love to live in Leonie West's mind for a day. Isn't that beautiful? Love it. You know, you're absolutely right. Okay, Kathy, have a good time if you can at the doctor's. Oh, Regina says quilt retreat at Kathy's. Oh, yeah. I live in a really big house, but I don't know how many people would fit into it. The rooms are small, but we got a lot of them. So, okay, I'm going to go ahead and set this aside. I'm going to get my little bag out with my sampler starter set. And the one I want to get out, if you know me, you know it's going to be the 4-inch arc. Now, what makes this interesting and easy to join together to expand the design is the fact that these little sharp little points make it real easy for us to go from one point to the other. Now, would I travel on all these little points? Probably not. First off, they're very sharp, and I think it would be hard to be sure that you're right on. You can do it. One way to do it is by putting your template back on and using that for traveling. I think adding any thread weight to those points would likely detract from the design. And that would be my main reason for not doing them. But what we can do is we can come in here using our 4-inch arc and come to the next point. Going to cut the thread off. And using my spacing gauge to make sure I get exactly where I want to be. I love this arc. I like all the arcs, but this is the one I seem to use most. And maybe it's because we had such a tenuous relationship when I first started ruler quilting. This was my least favorite template. There we go. Doesn't that look nice? It really does. And there's other things we can do with this. So what I'm going to get next is my clamshells. I'm going to draw a semicircle here coming in with my clamshells. And again, I want to use my spacing gauge. I think that when I'm making designs, these are my favorite things to do. Start with something and just keep adding to it. Can you ever get too much stuff added to it? Yeah, I believe you can. I really do. And sometimes I get to a certain point and then I just stop, erase the last thing I did, and I'm good to go. So yeah, you can't put too much, definitely, because then it looks muddied. Okay. I'm not sure. Did I do that right? Yeah. Okay. There we go. Beautiful. What do you think? It's really coming along, huh? Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try this. I don't know if this is gonna work. It'll work. I just don't know how effective it's going to be. Oh, I'm stuck. There we go. Yeah, I'm not crazy about that. I'll go ahead and finish it off, but you can see it still adds something. Every time we make a pass and lay down a little more thread, we add interest. Okay, and one more. And this is why I don't do the whole 8 rotations when I'm adding stuff on because it takes time. And let's go ahead and cut that off. Normally, I would just keep going back and forth. What do you think? Thanks so much. Oh, Jan's asking a question. On an average day, not nighttime, how many hours do you get to really quilt? You're so busy all the time. Well, that is part of my day, Jan. Ruler quilting is, if I could say I have a job, it would be my job. I usually get up between 4:30, 5 o'clock. My dogs wake me up. I'm in my studio always by 6 in the morning, and I leave my studio at 7 in the evening. I take time out for dinner, but all of my hours, I mean, I take little breaks now and then too, but mostly all of my hours are spent ruler quilting or putting quilts together to ruler quilt. Does that answer your question, Jan? I quilt a lot. I do spend a lot of time quilting. I really do. I enjoy it. And retirement allows me to do that. So I hope that helps. I do the teaching of the classes and my local group here that we've kept going. And so that takes time out of my day every once in a while. But overall, my favorite time and my favorite things to do are to ruler quilt. So today we looked at the Spin-e-Fex 9, and we came up with some really awesome secondary designs today. I really hope that you take a look at your templates in a different way now. Debbie says this is a fun template for sure, and it is. It really is. It can look so different, whether you put the skinny side in or the skinny side out, whether you want to embellish it. And here's embellishing it with different sizes of templates. Here's with templates from your starter sampler set, because I know you all have one. And what I Look, Carla says she highly recommends retirement to anyone who can do it. You know what, Carla, it's really funny. I always tell people I've got the best job in the world, but the pay stinks. And, but retirement is good, and you don't need as much money as you think you do when you retire. That's something I came to a realization. Susie, oh, Regina, thank you so much. I appreciate. Susie, thank you. I make her Wednesday mornings a happy time. I really appreciate you all being here from the bottom of my heart, giving up a part of your day to just spend with me. It really means the world to me. So we are coming to the end of a week. Don't forget, like, subscribe, share. The coupon codes for this week's templates will be good until Monday. And if you have any questions, concerns, or anything like that, please don't hesitate to get in touch with me. All my contact information is at sewsteady.com. Under the Elevate tab is instructors, and you can find everything to get a hold of me. Text, call, email, whatever works. The only thing you don't have is my address. I'm sorry, that's not on there. So I want you all to have a great week. When we come back next week, we will have Danelle on Monday. I will not be doing a Monday class, and we will have me on Tuesday. And on Tuesday, I'm going to do circles on quilts. And I was requested to do a certain way to do circles on quilts. So we're going to do it a way, a Baptistan in a way that maybe you haven't thought about doing it before. It's going to be a lot of fun. And then we're going to be working with Spin-e-Fex 8. And I hope you look forward to it as much as I do. So until we meet again, let's quilt.